First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello and welcome back to Fox 12 Now. As always, I really appreciate when you're joining in here. We are live streaming on the Fox 12 Oregon apps. We're on the website. We're on YouTube also for this one. So thanks for being here and being a part of the show. Right now, we're talking about something that you can do this weekend. Depending on when you're watching it, I'm talking about November 15th and the Save the LP record show. If you're a fan of records, this is definitely something you're going to want to know about. But on top of that, there's more to this event, including the idea of raising funds for a very special organization. So we're going to talk about all of this right now with the person who would know the most, and that is Ryan Vesalpour, who's joining us right now. And Ryan, thank you for being here with us to talk about this and what's going on. I think to start off here, for anybody who may not know, could you give me maybe that quick background of your background here in this area when it comes to records, and then how we get to this point of having this record show?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, thank you, Greg. It is wonderful to be here on the show with you. I'm a kid who grew up in a record store in downtown Beaverton called Music Time. My parents had the vision in this beautiful community to open up a record store called Music Time in 1992. We moved out from Detroit, Michigan. My father had amassed this incredible knowledge and collection that he wanted to bring the good people of the community. And my sister and I, Shireen, grew up in this record store. And for lack of a better term, I spent my majority of my life telling people, I grew up in a used record store. I grew up in a record store in Beaverton. And what I realized, it kind of snowballed as we were preparing for Save the LP Volume 1 last year, was going out and telling people that story about this beautiful community of ours, of Beaverton, and how really we are just carrying on the vision that my parents set forth for us to continue connecting community through music and being stewards of the community. We can't think of a better way than to throw a record show once a year at the beautiful Reeser Center for Performing Arts in downtown Beaverton. So the whole thing comes full circle like a record.
It really does. Brings it right back around.
Back around.
So amazing. So having all of those roots there and just, talking about what music means for people as well, and why it's such a connective force. Why is that, do you think? Why does music and even in particular records seem like it's such a thing that brings community together?
Everything I learned through growing up at that store. It's a wonderful framework for the way that I understood the world around me. Now, as an older individual, I can look back and go, yeah, a lot of that seems to connect. I think music has this incredible ubiquity in our life that does bring together people. You'll see it at a show. You'll go to a show with a bunch of strangers, and all of a sudden you're singing along to a Portugal the Man song. You look around and all of a sudden there's a kinship, right? And I think back to your question about records, what is so special about records? I think there's a tangibility. And growing up in a record store, and I know this goes for anybody that has spent time in a record store, there's this beautiful connection where people get together. You don't always have to buy the music. It's a place where you meet, you talk about stories, you talk maybe about a memory that connected you to the dark side of the moon when you were a teenager, whatever it may be. There's this beautiful commonality that brings us together. And, we find ourselves celebrating,
Yeah, I mean, that idea of, talking about those stories. Everybody's got a story about, some album that really affected them or a concert that you went to, but then having that tangible thing of actually going through records. There is just something, cathartic about it. It's just, it really is, it really is an experience. And for this event, this is bringing a lot of that together. And Can you tell everybody, just a little bit more about this event and what's going on here?
Absolutely. So, last year we had the great luck and privilege and joy of trying this out for the first time. The idea was, let's bring back the store, but let's bring it back in the form of a record show for the community. So we pulled together the best of the best vendors we possibly could, and the community showed up. Pips Donuts, Lionheart Coffee, Portugal the Man. We were so lucky to collaborate with them last year to raise over 50 G's for rare disease, as we say, for Francis Changed My Life. And we realized that there's power in us getting together. There's this wonderful thing that we can do again. So we were heavily encouraged by our community and as a family to bring it back. So this year you can expect thousands of records, CDs, tapes, vendors are coming in from Seattle to San Diego, Detroit. There's record collections from Japan. So the best of these hand curated gems will be on display and for sale for the ultimate record lovers, crate digging treasure hunt at the Reeser here in Beaverton. I can't think of a better way to get people together than to celebrate with all of those records. Yeah. We'll have free churros locos while supplies last. Daniel and Isabel, the wonderful husband and wife that run Churros Locos, will have their truck outside. So when you show up while supplies last, they'll have some free churros. We got a record tote starting the tradition from last year. So come on in, you grab that complimentary while supplies last. And then you just have this incredible confluence of people. We saw kids as young as 6 years old with their parents, to an 83-year-old man who told me how much it meant to him that we got together in our room to talk and celebrate music last year. KMHD is bringing the heat with their DJs. So we'll have Rev Shines from the morning, Spinach, Hednotic, and Bryson Wallace. So soundtracking the day is very important, obviously, for our record collectors. And, we find ourselves in the middle of this incredible snowball in the community as we started telling the story of Beaverton. Where Music Time once originated, but where this is now home. Save the LP finds its home at the Reeser, and it's an incredible good fortune to us to do it again.
Wow. I mean, come on, free churro and a tote bag, walking in the door, that alone. But yeah, bringing everybody together for that. And on top of that, of this sense of community and bringing everybody together, you're raising funds this year again for something special. Can you tell us about what this organization is?
Yeah, so they're called H.O.P.E. They're based here in Beaverton, but they service and serve the community abroad. H.O.P.E. stands for Honoring Our Precious Elders, and a wonderful man named Hen Trong is the executive director. They're 100% volunteer based, and they their goal is to keep our precious elders in their home. And they do so by bringing together volunteers from over 18 different high schools, people like you and I, into the yards of our precious elders. And so what you have there, just like a record show or just like a record store, is a confluence, again, of people getting together. And yeah, maybe the deliverable is landscaping and keeping the elder in their home, but they deliver joy on the daily. And knowing that we were going to do this interview with you, Greg, I reached out to Hen and Beth and I said, well, you guys want to join? And in fact, they would, but they're out in an elder's yard right now with volunteers doing what they do best. And so they are run on donations and people that can go out and give their time or their treasure. But since they're 100% free, they're busy with every minute they have when it's not raining, picking up leaves and keeping the landscaping going for our precious elders in the community. So I couldn't think of a better way as a family to celebrate and continue the legacy of Save the LP and Music Time by honoring our precious elders with our efforts this year. So we'll have raffle prizes for people that come through. You'll have the ability of donating directly. Go to hopeoregon.org, or our ticket sales are going to go towards honoring our precious elders as well. So again, it's this wonderful thing that we find ourselves within, and it's this community. We were talking as a family about this incredible relationship with storytelling through the lens of music. And, there is this idea that, you are the stylus, you're the needle, right? And your community is the record grooves. And when you get those two things together, you have music. And I see H.O.P.E. honoring our precious elders as the real melody makers in the community, going out there and servicing the community. So we're really inspired by people like that, organizations like that, as we get to tell the story and bring them along to give the spotlight to the people out there serving the community.
Wow, right. Well, I mean, you are inspiring as well for putting this together and bringing people together for something like this. And yeah, that organization, I mean, what they're doing is so incredibly valuable for especially people in their elder years. That can be a lot of work. It can be a lot of work for anyone maintaining all of that stuff, let alone somebody if you have mobility issues or something like that. So amazing stuff. Well, for everybody out there, I want to recap just, the what, where, when,
Yes.
just so they know where they can go, how they can be involved, and then also just outside of the show tomorrow, how they can be involved as well.
Absolutely. So, speaking of involvement with going back to Hope, you could reach out to Hope directly and let them know that you're willing to volunteer or make a donation. As I said, they're 100% volunteer run, so they depend on our community to support them so they can support our precious elders. You can go to savethelp.com and get your tickets for tomorrow's show, which starts at 10 a.m. Early birds from 10 a.m. to noon, and the whole show goes from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I believe early bird might be sold out at this time, but it's only $5 to get in. And you can find more information at savethelp.com or on Instagram at savethelp. As I said, the whole thing's a celebration, so all ages are welcome. It's at the Reeser, the most beautiful venue in all of Beaverton. Thanks to the Patricia Reeser Center for the Arts for hosting this again. Come through and bring a friend, celebrate the community tomorrow, Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, go to savethelp.com for more information and to get your tickets.
Ryan, thank you, as always, for being here, for having this conversation, and for what you're doing. And honestly, it sounds like a ton of fun. So, and for a good cause. So, kind of, it's checking all the boxes. All right,
Yeah.
Ryan, thank you, man. Thanks so much for being here on Fox 12 Now.
We appreciate you so much, Greg. All the very best, y'all.
Same to you. And for everybody watching, thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see this video end. If you're watching on the apps, you'll see, well, we'll take a break, but we'll be right here, so you don't have to go anywhere. Coming up is the Fox 12 Weather Podcast video edition. We have plenty more throughout the afternoon. We have a Friday Cocktails with Julie segment. We're going to talk to the Trail Keepers of Oregon. If there's breaking news, I'll have that. So we're moving on all the way till our 4 p.m. news, but we'll take a break, as I mentioned, right now. I'll talk to you shortly. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.
Yeah.